We are counting down 5 shampoo brands to avoid at all costs, and revealing 2 that are safe. Each ranked entry exposes ordinary products that can introduce hidden risks, from ingredient buildup to chemicals linked with irritation or hormonal effects. Even trusted or so-called gentle labels aren't always what they seem. Which brand earned the #1 spot for risk, and which formulas truly offer relief? Let us begin with number 5. At number 5, Pantene. It sits on millions of bathroom shelves, promising stronger, shinier hair with each wash. The ingredient list often features dimethicone, a silicone that coats hair strands to create a smooth, glossy finish. Over time, this coating can build up on the scalp and hair, especially with daily use. Dermatologists and Consumer Reports note that this residue may leave hair feeling heavy or greasy, and for those with sensitive skin or scalp conditions, it can trap oils and bacteria, sometimes leading to irritation. Pantene formulas also rely on strong detergents like sodium lauryl sulfate and sodium laureth sulfate, surfactants that not only strip away natural oils, but also make the scalp more absorbent to other ingredients. While Pantene's own research disputes the buildup risk, user experiences and independent tests suggest that residue can accumulate, especially for those with fine or curly hair. For anyone noticing dullness or irritation, rotating out silicone-heavy shampoos like Pantene may help restore scalp balance. Head & Shoulders is a household name for fighting dandruff, but its formula relies on a preservative called methylisothiazolinone, known as MIT. Dermatologists have documented cases where MIT triggers severe allergic reactions, especially in people with eczema or psoriasis. Even small amounts can set off red, itchy, or blistered skin, and flare cycles may last for weeks. In the European Union, MIT in rinse-off products is strictly limited to just 0.0015%, and it is banned entirely in leave-on cosmetics. In the United States, those restrictions do not apply, leaving sensitive users at higher risk. The combination of zinc pyrithione and strong detergents in Head & Shoulders can further inflame already vulnerable scalps. Anyone with a history of allergies or chronic skin conditions should check labels carefully, as repeated exposure to MIT can sensitize the skin over time. For these groups, even a trusted anti-dandruff shampoo can quietly make things worse. Herbal Essences built its reputation on the promise of nature. Bottles show plants and labels that tout botanical extracts. Yet beneath the surface, the ingredient list tells a different story. Synthetic fragrance appears on nearly every bottle. The single-word fragrance legally hides dozens of undisclosed chemicals, including phthalates. These compounds help scents linger. Medical literature links them to hormone disruption and reproductive harm. Independent lab tests have detected ethoxylation byproducts in herbal essences, including traces of 1,4-dioxane. Earlier formulations included triclosan, an antibacterial that is banned in soaps because of effects on hormones and the immune system. Triclosan is not always removed from shampoo. For people with hormonal sensitivities, children, or those with chronic scalp issues, these hidden ingredients can quietly add up. A natural label does not guarantee safety, especially when the full chemical picture remains out of sight. OGX gained a loyal following with its promise of nourishing oils and gentle care, but a wave of complaints began after 2019. What felt like a safe, everyday product became a source of concern for many users. Hundreds of consumers reported sudden hair loss, scalp burns, and persistent irritation. Lawsuits soon followed, centering on a preservative called DMDM-hydintoin. This ingredient releases formaldehyde, a known allergen and carcinogen, especially as bottles age or are exposed to heat. Court filings revealed that Johnson & Johnson, which acquired OGX in 2016, had already pledged to remove DMDM-hydintoin from other product lines years earlier, citing safety concerns. Yet OGX formulas in the United States continued to use it, even as internal documents acknowledged potential risks. By 2021, legal cases were underway in federal court, with plaintiffs describing hair falling out in clumps and raw, inflamed scalps. For people with sensitive skin or a history of allergies, OGX's off-the-shelf appeal concealed a risk that was both preventable and widely documented. Tresemme dominates American shelves, known for affordable, salon-inspired formulas and promises of keratin repair. Many people assume that is harmless. Independent laboratory testing tells a different story, one that affects millions of households. In 2022, a Vanicream analysis found benzene, a potent carcinogen, in Tresemme dry shampoo aerosols at levels far above the FDA's interim safety threshold of 2 parts per billion. Some batches measured over 1,000 parts per billion when sprayed, prompting a nationwide recall by Unilever. Benzene is not a listed ingredient. It entered through contaminated propellants, making the contamination invisible to anyone reading the label. At the same time, advocacy groups raised alarms about 1,004-dioxane, another probable carcinogen, which can form as a byproduct during the manufacturing of ethoxylated surfactants used in Tresemme liquid shampoos. While no public lab report has quantified 1,004-dioxane in Tresemme liquids above 10 parts per million, the risk is recognized by consumer advocates and regulatory agencies. With Tresemme's massive market reach, these findings carry weight. For anyone with sensitive skin, children, or a family history of cancer, the presence of undisclosed, high-risk contaminants in a top-selling brand is more than a technicality. It is a reason to rethink what sits in the shower. Until brands commit to transparent testing and safer formulations, Tresemme remains the clearest case for caution. Vanicream offers a different approach to hair care, designed for people who need simplicity and safety above all else. The ingredient list is short, usually just 8 to 10 components, and it skips the most common triggers, including sulfates, phthalates, and formaldehyde releasers. Dermatologists often recommend Vanicream for people with eczema, psoriasis, or highly sensitive skin, in part because every supplier is required to pass an audit for hypoallergenic standards. The formula is also free of fragrance, dyes, and parabens, which reduces the risk of irritation or allergic reaction. Independent groups such as the Environmental Working Group give Vanicream low hazard ratings. Each bottle costs around $13. For anyone looking to avoid hidden chemicals and minimize scalp stress, this is one of the most reliable options on the shelf. True Botanicals takes a different path, relying on plant-based ingredients and publishing third-party lab results for every batch. Each formula is screened for heavy metals and volatile organic compounds, and the company posts these test reports online for anyone to review. Synthetic preservatives are left out, and the ingredient list is short and easy to follow. This level of transparency comes at a higher price, around $28 a bottle, and availability is mostly online or through select retailers. For those who want independent verification and maximum clarity about what touches their scalp, True Botanicals stands out as a safer, more accountable choice. Across these 7 shampoos, one truth stands out: safety isn't obvious. Everyday products can quietly introduce risk. Awareness, not labels, protects our health. Small choices today shape tomorrow's well-being. Stay informed.